I didn't get to talk about Caden Cowger, so I'll just summarize. Caden Cowger's a bitch. He took. So I posted the contact information that he had on his official website. The phone number ended up just being Rush Limbaugh's phone number, the one that he had posted. Yeah. Well, and then later on, he took down all the contact information from his website and posted "nice try" on there. He typed "nice try" where all the contact information used to be.
Oh wow.
And now today it turns out he's totally switched domains. He moved everything from Cater Cowger Program over .com to CowgerNation.com.
Cowger Nation.
Yeah.
God.
But his contact info is still not there. So you know what though? I don't know. Maybe he just needs some tech support or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something's up.
Maybe he does. Maybe his website's spurging out and he needs help with it or something.
The entire reason that this is even happening is because he tried to call out DP for being friends with Mercedes Carrera, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't give the original reason why I'm fucking with him because I wasn't. Like, the reason I'm going hard on him is because he said we should go to jail, basically, because we had someone on our show who, 5 times in 5 years, who is allegedly, who's been charged with crimes against a child.
And if that's the case, then Caden Cowger should go to jail for having that wimp bitch pussyfuck Caden Cowger on his show.
For having himself on his show.
Yeah.
But also, luckily he has this thing where he posts his shitty ass podcast too. And all of his contact information is still here.
So can I ask a question? Like, does he have any other platform other than like his YouTube?
I think actually, believe it or not, he is actually syndicated on a few radio stations.
Really?
Throughout the South. Like he's headquartered in West Virginia, but he's syndicated on a few other stations. That's because he made a name for himself as being like a conservative talker at the age of like 12 or 13. It was a novelty. It's like Milo. It's like Candace Owens. It's like anyone who's like a visible minority to be like a representative of the right. You know what I mean?
But like the thing though, what's bothering me about this is I'm looking at his channel. He's got 3.3 thousand subscribers, and like I don't do subscriber shaming usually. Like you should be proud of what you achieve in YouTube, but the dude's been doing this for 6 fucking years, and I was like assuming he was like a big villain of the internet. Like he had a huge reach and like what the fuck?
Here's the
this
thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know what? He's got like almost 30,000 Twitter followers, but
24.
24. Yeah, anytime he posts something, it doesn't really get a lot of traction, which leads me to believe that maybe he has bots following him. I don't know.
Maybe, but like he was syndicated radio, right?
He also has a channel. He has 2 YouTube channels. He has another one for his podcast. And some of those podcast episodes have been up over a year and they only have like 1 view, which is probably him.
What?
It's probably him viewing his own video the first time. Yeah. Look up Caden Cowger podcast, and you'll find it.
3 weeks ago, he made fake news slanders, MAGA teens being harassed by Native Americans. That whole boring-ass story. It got 69,000 views, but he still only has 3.3 thousand subscribers. So this tells me something very important here. It tells me that when people find the search of something that's interesting to them, and they might go and find randomly one of his videos, they watch it, and then they look at the rest of his channel and they're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. They're like, never mind, no more. But like, to me, it's his whole setup. That's why when I saw his setup, it looked really professional. So I thought that he would have a bigger following.
I mean, he is syndicated on terrestrial radio. That's something else. But
he's got his scruples or whatever you want to call the bullshit that he does.
But he's dumb as fuck. I mean, he is just, my God. But he's one of those people.
Yeah, that shit he was saying about pedophiles, with gay people being in part of NAMBLA or whatever, that was just ridiculous.
But you don't have to be smart,
And
right?
when you try to call out the dumb shit he says, he just like keeps shifting to a new subject.
Yeah, he's got his talking points and he stays close to them.
No, he doesn't even do that.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't even do that, because I'm like, hey, how are we to blame for anything someone else allegedly did? And he's like, man, you're just a stoner. You're too dumb to even understand this because you're so dumb and a stoner. So he doesn't address what he said. He won't even like back up what he says at all. He just moves to something new, a whole new subject. It's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to have a conversation whether or not I'm a stoner and whether or not that makes me dumber than you.
I wonder if Caden Cowger...
such a dumb conversation.
I wonder if Caden Cowger was vaccinated.
I don't know.
Could have been a healing crystal.
So he's such fucking garbage. I was gonna play some of his shit podcast.
You know,
stuff,
I'm actually good friends with Caden Cowger. I don't appreciate you.
So you agree with him?
Everybody, Billy.
You agree with his views on homosexuality then?
Well, I agree with his views on DP being responsible for Mercedes Carrera. Like, it's kind of our fault.
That's not true at all.
It's kind of our fault. Like, we should have never given her a platform to talk about politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
That platform
would have happened.
That platform made us directly responsible for anything she ever does for the rest of her life. Fuck. Right?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Every time
single-handedly caused her meth addiction. You monsters.
Yeah. By us giving JF a platform originally, now we're responsible for the graffiti on the wall.
I think we're also responsible for Trump's wall indirectly.
Yeah. I can't wait till they build that wall so I can pop a fucking glory hole in it and make all the people suck my dick.
I woke up this morning and looked at my phone, and the first thing I saw was this tweet from Caden Cowgirl.
Oh, Caden Cowgirl.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the first thing I saw, and I was like, every time I see this little worm, I have to respond to him. So I responded, basically asking, like, do the people who caught COVID from Trump get to blame China?
Right.
And see, the thing I've learned with Trumpers is that they can't defend Trump. They can only attack other people to justify what Trump does.
Well, 90% of the whole method by which Trump and that aspect of the right, they operate solely not on trying to boost up and say Trump is great. They try and say the left is crazy. That's how it works. That's their only tactic.
Even if China created the virus in a lab and purposefully deployed it to spread in the United States, it's still Trump's responsibility to be prepared for biological weapons and pandemics and anything he can possibly think of that's a threat to our country. So it doesn't even matter if China did anything. It doesn't matter where it came from. It's here now. And it's the worst here than it is anywhere else. I don't know. I don't know why I have to spell that. I hate getting into Twitter arguments over this too, because you don't get enough characters. I
know. Yeah. Well, I mean, if he had some balls, he'd come on the show and we could tell him all about it.
I tried to get him on. Oh, and I'm just including this because someone else who's actually a fan of the show, he told me he's a fan of the show, and he was like kind of hesitant to get into it with me. But he said, like, blaming Trump doesn't change anything either. No one was prepared for this. If no one was prepared, then Trump is to blame. Because we've had pandemics, we've had global health crises, we've had near crises with Ebola and H1N1 and all of this other stuff. It's part of the job to be ready for this kind of thing. It's not like the aliens landed and took over and we're like, oh, no one could have saw this happening. It's like we know what illnesses are. We know how it can fuck with us so badly.
Right, and like the thing is, like, sure, Trump can't control whether or not there's a pandemic. He can't control that a disease happens, but he can control how the country responds to it. Absolutely. That's his job.
Yeah.
That's his whole fucking job.
Yeah, and I would say one of the biggest responsibilities is not getting the illness. when you're the leader of the country and you're trying to take control and make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. Not getting the illness is pretty big, and letting people know realistic expectations, not telling people to just dismiss it like it's nothing.
I really think that the most important thing as president in a time of crisis like this is to make sure everybody only gets one $1,200 stimulus check.
Actually, we'll get into that because everything's on hold until election time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
so
I heard about that.
Cowger always goes for the, oh, you guys are just a bunch of stoners.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I love my tea.
So
I like that Delta 9.
I realize
Delta
you
8 stuff is
stoners
pretty nice.
don't actually like putting forth an effort to research facts or do anything for that matter, but it matters that the CCP covered up the virus and infected the world. We weren't alerted of it soon enough, and now we have an international pandemic.
it's hilarious because he pretends to know what we do. Like, I mean, I already know I've accomplished more than Caden Cowger in my life.
Like,
I already know,
in
like,
drinking
I do
games?
more stuff. I'm just better all around than Caden Cowger.
you have a red tie and suit like he does, or you dress like fucking Pee Wee Herman meets fucking Mitt Romney? Are you sure you're better than him?
Actually, after you put it that way.
I like Pee Wee Herman.
He looks like a walking, talking ventriloquist dummy. That's pretty sweet.
He does. He does kind of look like that.
The only puppet you look like, Ben, is the drummer from the Muppet Band.
I cannot think of any straight edge people who are all that successful. Really, not too
Not
many.
really.
No.
No.
I mean, most of the ones that like appeared straight edge, or they get some demons in their past. I got a question though. I know this is off topic, just real quick, but I'm curious, who would win in a fist fight, Caden Cowgirl or Nick Fuentes?
That's I would
I'm going Cowger.
buy me front row tickets to that.
I'm going Cowger.
Actually, there's
I
a
don't
song
think
that comes
Nick
to
guy's
mind.
ever actually fought somebody in his life the way he handles himself. So I'll go with Caden because he could have like a lot of anger built up.
There's a song that comes to mind when I think of that. You know what it is?
Hmm.
Bitch boy, slap fight.
Yes, bitch boy slap fight, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go with Nick, only because
How
I think
tall
he's
is
got-
Nick and how much does he weigh?
Nick's 5'7",
he's-
weighs 140 pounds.
You don't even know that, but he does
I know
look
everybody's
like
height
it.
and weight.
Him standing next to the
He is very
15-year-old
short.
girl and not being much bigger than her, kind of.
I saw him stand next to Catboy.
Catboy's ripped though.
Yeah, ripped and
Yeah.
6'1", I think.
See, my money is on Nicky the Knife having some secret musculature that we don't usually see, because it's only the kind of muscles that he gets from like plowing Catboy ass, right? I don't think he has any.
I think he's the one
practical fighting
getting
skills.
plowed.
Oh yeah, he definitely.
I don't think he has any practical fighting skills. I just think he has spurg rage.
Nick
and,
the Stick is
like,
the one getting impaled
Like
in his
Spurg
anus.
Rage versus Boomer Rage. So you got the... How old is this other guy?
Caden,
Caden.
21?
they're about the same. They're about the same age, early
It's
20s.
that.
Um,
Since I got out of high school, now I know everything type person. Couldn't tell
Well,
from the tiny profile
Caden-
picture.
Caden knew everything before he was out of high school.
Caden got popular because he was like a kid that wanted to be Rush Limbaugh,
Yeah.
and he was like, he got on the Young Turks or something somehow. He was like, Obama's making kids gay. That was
Yeah.
like his first big.
Oh, I remember that
He was.
guy.
He,
Jesus.
they knew him as Rush Lil Bra.
Yeah, Lil Bra.
Lil Bra.
I mean, it's a good way to get in touch with like a younger demographic, but I really don't know anybody that's 21 years old that's like, oh yeah, I understand how the global economy.
I don't
and
know
everything
anybody
works."
named Caden that's not a little bitch. Sorry, Caden.
I made the
That's also
point
true.
here that he blames everyone else for the mess Trump has. He did it here too. Here's a hit. It wasn't Trump because we didn't have enough.
President forgot to order a supply of ventilators. Here's a hint. It wasn't Trump.
Trump forgot to order it when the pandemic first started and waited until people started dying to get it.
Yeah, was Obama supposed to order the ventilators for a 3-year in, and Trump just forgot for 3 years?
Yeah, he
to
has
order
that magical
ventilators?
DeLorean,
Yeah.
you know?
Hey, Obama forgot to order ventilators, so we don't have to worry about it. No big
Right.
deal.
Didn't Trump shut down like a pandemic response team that Obama created?
There's conflicting info on that. I know that at least parts of it was dismantled. I don't know if it was the whole thing or not.
From what I heard, he shut down that department and replaced it with Herman Cain.
So, like, is Caden Cowger even doing YouTube videos anymore? Because his YouTube channel is dead.
He has a newspaper he's running. like a news rag.
Washington Reformer. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, my YouTube channel's dead. Don't bring that up.
Here's so like I pointed out to him that he blames everybody else, and he where's that thing that he did? Right here. He basically says Trump doesn't need to be defended because he implemented a warp speed operation to get a vaccine and instituted a travel ban.
Okay.
I want to hear the details of this when the vaccine comes in. I want to see like how the president personally intervened and helped these medical companies get all the materials they needed to make a vaccine, especially if it fails.
It seems like he put more into hydroxychloroquine.
I'm glad they didn't use it on him.
Caden hasn't. It looks like Caden hasn't even put out an article on his website in like 3 weeks because he doesn't actually own a
He
newspaper.
lives with his mom.
This is just a website. This is just like a blog made to look like like a newspaper. Like the number one trending news article is Cowger launches the Washington Reformer 4 months ago.
The number one article on the Reformer is that the Reformer is being launched.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
if you're way into politics, wouldn't you like engage in your own blog? Because that's basically what that sounds like.
I wonder if he's... Wow, this is so great. I mean, his Facebook page for it only has 700 people liking it, too. Man, Caden.
I basically told him, you know, if this happened under a Democrat president, I would have basically the same position that I have on Trump. And he's like...
Yeah.
And he's like... And whereas he would be calling for their head, you know? Could you imagine if Obama...
Obama comes out and says, oh, you know, you just have to feel better about yourself and think positively.
Could you also imagine if Obama got caught paying hush money to a porn star that he fucked? Like,
yeah, but how much could he really pay that guy?
These morally, like, Caden Cowger's a big time Christian. He's like an evangelical Christian. He would not look the other way if someone from the other party.
That sodomite Barack Obama.
Right.
Paid Lexington Steele $140,000.
Good choice.
To go deep in his presidential anus.
Yes. Yeah.
I like how you went to homosexual black on black ebony love.
I mean, that's the rumor, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go around telling people Barack Obama was a homosexual if other people weren't saying it. I'm a follower.
Let's talk about Caden Cowger first. So most of you remember the clip that we watched where Trump's lawyer, fresh out of Trump's trial just ending, kind of went crazy on a CBS News anchor. The way I saw the clip was she was just asking him to clarify which evidence was doctored, because he made a claim that evidence that was submitted was doctored. As far as I saw, she wasn't saying that it should be acceptable that any of that was doctored, but that's how he tried to paint it. Well, in the universe Caden Cowger lives in, this lawyer just like owned this CBS News anchor. Here it is right here. He did savage, and this was my reply. I didn't mean to insult any cowgirls out there, by the way. This is not an insult. If you happen to be a cowgirl, I'm sorry. Maybe I should stop calling Caden Cowger Caden Cowgirl.
It's too late now, Ben. We're hurt.
Okay. Yeah, he's Caden Cowger.
We're hurt.
No. We can retcon it. You can start calling him Caden Coward because you got him on the run. Right?
I do that too. Yeah. So then he always goes to the same place. So here it is. He said the stoner to the scholar. What is he a scholar of exactly?
Surely you have a degree to show me.
So then I replied, come on, DP, and we'll see who comes out looking better. I know nobody listened to your show and it got canceled. So I'll be charitable and give you a platform to show me how much of a dumb stoner I am and how much of a scholar you are. Let your ass hash the check your mouth wrote. So then he replies, "You're wrong. I was never canceled from anything. I temporarily left with over 30,000 listeners." If you go, I went today to see, he just started posting. He posted one episode this year. And before that, he took over a year off. Like, he temporarily left for, like, more than a year. He was active in, like, 2018 and maybe some of 2019. I'm usually open for debate, but you guys are obnoxious. I'd never give your show ratings. You don't get ratings. We just want to talk to you about your ridiculous stuff that you post. And conversing with a wall would be more productive than any conversation you could have. I don't expect anything to be productive anyway. Like, you talking to someone that disagrees with you with all your crazy theories, it'll never be productive, regardless if they're obnoxious or very polite. It's all about you try to do entertainment. You try to entertain an audience. We try to entertain an audience that we have. So you coming on, you're not going to bring us ratings. I just thought it'd be fun. And I was even willing to play by his rules, too. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Ooh.
So I pointed this out, too, because the banner of his Twitter is him standing behind Mike Pence.
And he's also standing behind one of those bird creatures from Dark Crystal.
Someone commented that it looked like there was a lot of inbreeding in this photo.
Caden Cowger looks like the son of Pence, the grandson of Pence. And then, I don't know, these three in the middle are like the sister-brother wives of the Pence compound.
The Pence compound. Yeah, so I told him, because Mike Pence was his hero. I mean, at least the way he talked about him before. So now, but you're still buddies with Trump, right? You want, or you still support Trump, even though he almost got your hero Mike Pence attacked by an angry mob that was screaming for his head.
What say he?
Yeah, so he never replied to that, actually.
Puss.
Oh.
He said, "Drunkard peasants, no one listens to you." And then he says, "Also drunkard peasants," and then it shows that we follow him. And it's like, yeah, you don't understand the purpose of my follow.
Obviously, Ben's a Caden Cowger
keeping an eye
stan.
on you.
Right.
Because you
might be the
Tom.
least insulting thing that you've ever been called.
I replied by saying, "Yes, we follow you because you're a hilarious buffoon that people enjoy watching us mock." And he's like, "Exactly. That's all you guys do. You mock and it's boring. You're incapable of rational, intelligent thought, which is exactly why I have no interest in wasting my time going on your podcast." I mean, I've seen Caden
for all the
Cowger.
debates this channel has actually held before.
I see Caden Cowger mock people all the time. He's acting like we're just a bunch of weirdos.
He's the illegitimate love child of Charlie Kirk and Rush Limbaugh, and he was given elocution lessons by frickin' Jerry Seinfeld.
Didn't all this start from him dropping savage and a flame emoji on the stupid lawyer making a stupid comment?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not mocking. He's a highly intelligent individual. I bet you Caden Cowger gets like boners for vanilla ice cream.
Oh, man. I thought you weren't going to say cream at the end for a second. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
For the cream team?
No, vanilla. Kick it one time, boy.
Yeah.
Here's, oh, yeah, I called him Caden Coward. And he's like, "It has nothing to do with being afraid of a debate. I go on Bill Maher's show without giving it a second thought." Yeah, Bill Maher, famous, huge audience.
Right.
Doesn't want Caden Cowger.
You're right. He'll go on a show that he'll never get invited onto, is what he's saying. Those are the only kind of shows he'll go on. Even though Bill is a left winger, he is much more professional and smarter than you. He can certainly debate better than you. You're just uninteresting. Yet you keep quote tweeting me. You keep responding to me. I'm so uninteresting, but you keep doing it. I ratio every tweet you do, literally every one. And it's like, why are we even talking about Bill Maher? I don't understand why he's even. Oh, yeah, this is what I said. I said, Bill Maher would never invite you on his show. This is a ridiculous argument you're making here. If you're too much of a baby to deal with some big boy language, I'll still wreck you without swearing or insulting you. Your views make that easy enough. And he always focuses on, like, the one thing you say, like the I'll wreck you thing. That's what he focuses on next. He's like, I'll wreck you right there. You're not interested in having a discussion. Your sole goal is to belittle other people, likely to compensate for personal insecurities. Go away, boring peasant. He projects crazy amounts.
I don't know. You shouldn't have threatened to wreck Caden Cowger. He's a young Republican boy. Like, well, what does he do? He just talks. He's a wannabe talk radio host.
He's a wannabe.
Okay.
He's a failed Ben Shapiro clone.
Yeah, Caden, this is me. I'm not on Twitter talking to you or threatening to wreck you because I don't find you entertaining at the least. Don't come on our show. Thank you for not coming on our show. Thank you for being a pussycat. Drink from your milk at home, far away from our show. Nobody respects you. Why would we want you here other than to mock you? You're right. You're such a genius.
He's like, since we can now impeach former presidents, when do the impeachment proceedings for Jimmy Carter and Barack Obama start? So, this is another thing.
What will we impeach them for?
Well, this is another thing I responded to. Now, first of all, Trump was still in office when he was impeached. The trial started after he left, but he was impeached while he was still president. So he was impeached twice while he was president, and then the trial happened after he left office.
We impeached Bill Clinton and spent a whole lot more time on that.
And also, like, Barack... Okay, so they're both out of office, so the worst thing that could happen to them is that they're barred from being in the federal government again. Obama can't run for president again, so he'd have to, like, run for senator, which is, like, he wouldn't do that, but that's the most you'd stop him from. And Jimmy Carter, he could run for president again because he only had one term, but he's, like, 100 years old. And neither of these people are saying that they're going to run for president anytime soon. So it'd be ridiculous. Even if you could talk Congress into voting for impeachment. I like how he pretends to not know how impeachment even happens. So I explained it to him. Oh, by the way, he posted this about us too.
They're a bunch of Howard Stern wannabes without the talent or captivating personalities. They're just boring and predictable. You literally have to be high to enjoy their incoherent podcast. Thank you guys, by the way, for being high.
Yeah, did Caden get high and enjoy our show, and he's just afraid to admit it?
He's got the munchies.
Have to be high.
So I answered his question, though. I gave him a lesson on how it works. You know?
It's nice to know the secret, though.
Yeah.
You have to be high.
So we have to start the articles of impeachment on Obama and Carter?
He's saying, like, when is it going to, like, when do the impeachment proceedings start? Well, the proceedings aren't going to start until the impeachment happens, you know? So, and...
Isn't the first step we have to have a reason to impeach them? Like, what?
Well, I mean, so, yeah, someone in Congress would write up articles of impeachment, and then the House votes on it, and it would have to be cleared by a majority, and then it goes to Senate for the hearing, and that's where they vote for guilty or not guilty.
And anyone can bring articles of impeachment before the House.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the notorious MTG did that her first day after she swore in. So
yeah, exactly. So it could Congress, especially the House right now, wouldn't approve to impeach Jimmy Carter and Obama.
Jimmy Carter.
I mean, yeah, that's even assuming they had a reason. But like, what reason do you even give to pretend to do this?
You know what? Even
built
scarier.
A bunch of houses for poor folks.
Even scarier than Cowger. People who are like unironically following him because they agree with him were like, yeah, why don't we impeach Lyndon Johnson and JFK? It's like, Okay, impeachment, you either remove someone from office or you bar them from office. When you're dead, you're barred from everything already. You don't have to impeach dead people.
Then why do we give pardons to dead people then?
Though that's ceremonial. And pardons don't need a trial and waste a bunch of time.
I think we should impeach Abraham Lincoln.
Would it even be legal to like try to convict somebody after they're dead? Like, don't you have to be alive to like defend yourself in a proceeding like that?
No, there's actually a thing called trial in absentia. I have no idea how it works, but I know it's a thing.
Ask Jeffrey Epstein.